like with your personal standard, because every interviewer is different, when do you know that that person is the right fit for a certain position? I guess it would be everything, but what do you mostly see in the person, in the interviewee?
My first thing is, how do they treat the people that actually currently work for the organization? So an example would be working in the hotel industry. There's always a person that opens the door for the guests at the front. And then there's a person that works at the desk. So when an interviewer goes in, the first person they meet is the door person, right? Who opens the door. And then the second person they would meet is the front office person when they say, I'm here for an appointment with Linda at whatever. And then they would call. How they treat those two people, because they're eventually going to be working with them and showing them some courtesy, is one of the things that I look at, right? If they say good morning to them, if they have a little bit of conversation with them, oh, how's it work? How does it feel to work here? That's one of the things that I really look at when I was working at the industry, when I was working in the hotel. Punctuality is a big thing for me. I have very high standards when it comes to what a potential candidate should be. And I think that if somebody is going to an interview, they need to either be a little bit early or be on time. And I always think early is best, because that shows you how much they're passionate about the job, but also it shows you, if you do hire them, will they be on time for their job, right? And also, I think more, they always say, ask behavioral-based interviews. It will tell you more about the person. And yes, I do ask those type of questions, but I also think my gut, and usually I have a very good instinct about people. And I also think that if people show passion in the way that they present themselves and tell me their story, a lot of my HR friends don't like asking the question of, tell me about yourself, right? Like they find that, oh, that's so redundant and saying that, right? I asked that, and I've had debates where I said, well, I asked that so it kind of breaks the ice, because they're nervous of coming into an interview. So that kind of gets them a little bit calms them down a little bit more, I was going to say, a little more confidence in the way that they are going to present themselves in the interview. So that's why I always say, tell me a little bit about yourself.
It might do the opposite, though. It might make them more nervous.
But then also, if you're going to be nervous all the way through the interview, then by that one question, then you really probably haven't prepared yourself for it, right? Like prepared, like the best stories about you, right, and the best answers to give. Like you need to really know your stories, and you need to find the best examples that highlight your skills, right? Your skill sets and so forth. Right. I just think that once you've done so many interviews, you kind of know the type of individuals that you want to have on the team. But also you have to kind of figure out, would this individual fit within the team that's already established? Right? Are they going to rock the boat, or are they going to mend into the team and be a great asset with the team? Right? And I'm very straightforward when I come to an interview. I tell them specifically what the job's about, the stresses of the job, and the best of the job. What's the greatest accomplishments that you can get from the job? And what skills can you take away? Like, I think when people read job descriptions that are posted, it doesn't give you the full picture. So you have to ask them, what is a day in the life of an interviewer or a human resources manager? Like, what are the pitfalls of the job? What are the great things about this job? Why are you still working? Like, what made you decide to work for this organization? People don't ask questions at the end of an interview. At the end of an interview, and an interview says, do you have any questions? I'm like, no, okay, thank you. Ask your questions. You should have a couple of questions to ask so that you have a better feel for the interview. An interview isn't only for an interviewer to see that you're a fit for the company. It's for you to see if you want to work for that company. It works both ways, right?
Right. When you're interviewing people, you see whether these people are passionate about what they might potentially do. How do you find passion?
Tone of voice, their eyes. It's all about the body language when they describe something or they tell you. What are they doing to accelerate their career and achieve the next level in their career? I also think that it has to do with how they present themselves, mostly how they, the time, being on time. I take seriously someone who is on time, and I know that they're serious about the job. If they come on time, they're dressed professionally, they talk to the people that are part of the team already. They have really good examples of what their skills are, right? I really think that shows passion. Passions is different things. It's different aspects of different things of a person. What can I tell you about 20-year-olds and how to find their passion? They need to find out what interests them, right? And if they don't know that, they have to try different things to see what is of interest to them, right? And like I said, don't put yourself in a box, right? You can have so many different interests, right? Like for me, if I look at my career, if we look at my career now, I do visual merchandising and operations. I work in a finance, I work in finance department of the nonprofit, and I do the mentoring with Ralph, right? So there's so many different aspects. Those are all my passions, right? There's so many different ones, and I'm trying each one of them. Like I'm living the good life right now, because I'm doing everything that I like to do, right?